What's going on, everybody? Tyrell here. If you like crypto, on this channel, I bring together the fundamentals and the technicals to curate valuable information to help you on your journey. A free way to support this channel is to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And we are closing in on 100 subscribers. So as I've mentioned before, as soon as we hit 100, I'm going to be giving away $100. And we're going to be doing the exact same thing at 500 subscribers, and then most definitely at 1,000 subscribers. And I'm thinking, honestly, to be doing some things in between those milestones. So be on the lookout for that. And for all the people that recently subscribed, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. And let's get into this video. So I'm going to share my screen right now. Looking at the total crypto market cap, we're currently sitting at $1.489 trillion. Next, we're going to get into total 2. So this is the altcoin market, currently sitting at $861 billion. Looking at Bitcoin dominance, we're currently sitting at 42.2%, fluctuating at that level. Can we potentially see Bitcoin gain more strength over altcoins? So with that being, more money is flowing into Bitcoin over time will tell. So we just started at Q3, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Looking at Bitcoin in and of itself, as I've mentioned before, it's just been bouncing off of this supply level, this support level. People could be scooping up some Bitcoins at this level. My fear, honestly, is we may see another like sudden drop to freak people out to like sell their Bitcoins. And whoever like has the gunpowder left will potentially be able to scoop up some Bitcoins at a lower price. That's my fear. I hope it doesn't happen. Honestly, I'm just smoking that hopium, but that's honestly a possibility, because who knows? I don't have a crystal ball to have some type of prediction. I think that is counterintuitive for sure. I would just like to see what happens and then make my decision at that point in the future. Next, we're going to look at Ethereum, currently just below that $2,500 mark. So I identified that, and if like price closes below that, then that opens the door to potentially falling a little bit lower to $2,000. So I just have like these markings on here as I look at price, and I put out like psychological numbers because they're nice round numbers, you know what I mean? And just like base my decisions off of those. And we're also going to be getting into synthetics, curve, and 1inch. So synthetics is a token that allows you to create synthetic assets of an underlying asset without having to hold that asset and like deploy that value onto like DeFi platforms that are created out there. So you can create like synthetic Google or synthetic Apple or synthetic dollars, which I have done before, and I will show in a bit. So you can actually take your synthetics and actually stake it and earn some yield on your synthetics. Next, we got Curve. I bought Curve a little bit down here. I saw that price had dropped, and I was reading into its tokenomics, which is a governance token. You could actually earn some rewards in Curve for having some Curve and staking it, earning some of the transaction fees in the curve.finance platform. You can take your Curve and deploy it onto all of these different DeFi platforms and earn yield in your Curve. So there's just a lot of utility for Curve, and I bought some, and I'm going to be showing that in a bit. Lastly, we have 1inch, which is a DEX aggregator. So what it does, it looks at all these different DEXs and finds the best exchange rates for your potential trades. So if you potentially wanted to exchange like Ethereum to USDC or USDC to Ethereum, or some of these other wild altcoins out there, 1inch actually aggregates all of the dexes that are out there and finds you the best exchange rate, and then routes your order to that exchange or platform, essentially. So you could actually get some 1inch and then deploy that onto some of these other DeFi protocols, which I will show you in a bit, and earn yield in that as well. So we're actually going to be getting into some news. So I don't know if you actually heard about the Colonial Pipeline cyber attack, where some hackers, who knows where they are exactly, they attacked, cyber attacked the Colonial Pipeline, shut down gas supply or oil supply in the eastern United States, and caused a lot of problems. And to end this cyber attack and get the solution, Colonial Pipeline actually paid the ransom to these hackers, and were able to solve their problem. But like the FBI, they actually ended up retrieving the Bitcoin that the Colonial Pipeline operators sent to the cyber attackers. Now, me thinking, like, if I am a cyber attacker, why would I want to be paid in something that can be tracked by everyone around the world that has an internet connection, and that transaction will forever be on the blockchain? That just makes no sense, honestly. And for people that are believing that the FBI hacked the Bitcoin network, that's inherently false. Like, the Bitcoin network cannot be hacked, where somebody that doesn't have access to the private keys can transact with those funds, like according to that wallet. So somehow, some way, the FBI got access to the private keys for this wallet that everybody can see, because they actually have the address here. And whenever Colonial Pipeline sent this Bitcoin payment to this address, they're inherently linked forever. And you can see this transaction on a blockchain explorer. So we're gonna go to blockchain.com and take this block address that the FBI has and put it into here, Control V, press enter, and you can see the transaction where Colonial Pipeline paid these cyber attackers in Bitcoin. And now all the FBI has to do is locate where this wallet potentially is, and find out a way to retrieve that Bitcoin. So however they did it, I don't know exactly, but they can track every single transaction. So like, they could have flagged this account and like just tracked the Bitcoin. Like, it just doesn't make sense. There's no privacy. There's pseudonymity, but not exactly privacy. Like, even though like a name isn't attached to this per se, but yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Who knows exactly what happened. Next, we're going to be getting into some of the news that's coming out of Latin America. Kudos to all the countries that are starting to adopt Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I think this is great for global adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. It's essentially going to be a net positive, I believe so, as there's going to be more development within these countries to build up a crypto infrastructure, right? So we have like Mexican lawmakers. I'm just going to read the headline. Mexico lawmakers aim to follow the example of neighboring countries with proposed Bitcoin legislation. We are going to lead the shift to crypto and fintech in Mexico, said one senator. And you can see this by them changing their Twitter profiles with laser eyes. Pretty cool stuff, honestly. I should probably do so myself. But as these senators and lawmakers and politicians create the Laser Eye Committee, this is inevitably going to have more adoption of blockchain technology, starting with Bitcoin. So a lot of these countries are underdeveloped relative to like the United States, where a lot of like their citizens are either unbanked or underbanked. However, they do have like a cell phone, so they can download an app and be connected to a financial network to allow them to do a lot of things and increase the standard of their life, the quality of their life. So there's some net positives, and this isn't just in Latin America. This is also going to be happening in Southeast Asia and in Africa, where these lesser developed countries start to come online and adopt Bitcoins to hopefully change their lives for the better. So there's some really cool things happening on that front. Next, we're going to be talking about Berkshire Hathaway. So I remember Warren Buffett was just like, Bitcoin is rat poison squared. However, he's going to be owning Bitcoin inevitably, right? So Berkshire Hathaway invests $500 million, $500 million in Brazilian digital bank. Though its billionaire owner has personally spoken out against digital assets many times, Berkshire Hathaway's investment may indicate the firm is more open to the idea. I'm going to read this a little bit. So Nubank CEO, the digital bank CEO, says democratizing access to financial services across Latin America, the funding would help that. He said that only half the people in the region have bank accounts, with roughly 21% using credit cards. And Buffett has personally spoken on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies previously. However, over the last year, the multinational conglomerate has invested in more firms related to the technology. It's inevitable, honestly. He's going to own some Bitcoin. Or maybe he already does, and he just hasn't let anybody know. All right. Next, we're going to be talking about some of these DeFi platforms. So this is like the meat of this video. So at the same time as me showing myself, I'm actually going to screen record. Remember these, I would say APYs here. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to screen record, 3, 2, 1, go swipe up, go over to my Coinbase wallet, go home here. So this is my Coinbase wallet. I'm going to be showing you guys some of the stuff that I have on here. The main thing I have is Ethereum, just so I can pay gas fees, right? And then you can send all of your cryptos to this wallet, and this is your like self-custody solution. And this thing allows you to interact with a lot of the DeFi protocols that are out there. And I'm going to be showing some of them tonight. So you can do your own research and look at some of the coins that are on there and potentially earn some of the yields that are on there on these platforms. So all this stuff is just out there on the internet, and as long as you know where to look and how to actually interact with these things and make sure like you know how to use these, you'll be good to go. My personal opinion. So yeah, so this is my Coinbase wallet. We can look at some of the NFTs that I have. I'm not going to show them at the moment. But what I wanted to show here was this browser here allows you to navigate the decentralized applications, so the dApps. So the first thing that we're going to be looking at is Yearn.finance. This is like one of my favorite DeFi platforms because the guy, Andre Cronje, he created this thing to simplify DeFi, essentially. You can essentially just like deposit your crypto onto this platform and then earn yields that are much higher than anywhere else in like the traditional financial infrastructure. So I have some 1-inch on here. So I was talking about that earlier. Currently have 285.1136 1-inch on here. On the actual website that you can look at on a laptop, the APY is currently 13.38%. It doesn't show on the phone, unfortunately, but it's on there. So you can like see where your assets are deployed, and it's useful. Next, we have synthetic USD, SUSD. So I minted SUSD by staking my SNX, and then I got some SUSD, and then I deposited that onto Yearn.finance to be earning 16.38% APY. And all this stuff is variable. Honestly, like what dictates APY is supply and demand. So if there's a higher demand for these tokens, then there's most likely going to be a higher APY. But if there's like too much supply where a lot of people are just like deploying their capital into these protocols to earn yield, then naturally the APY is going to go down. But there's some really cool things. Next, we're going to be looking at Cream. So I was talking about some CRV, the Curve Governance token. I deposited my Curve onto Cream.finance, and I'm currently earning 10.23% APY. I think this is a better use or allocation of your capital and assets to earn some type of yield on these DeFi platforms. So you could look at some of the other APYs that are on here for Cream.finance. You got like DAI here, 10.47%, also synthetics, but there's also so many other tokens out there that you can potentially do some research on and deposit onto this platform. And lastly, we're going to be talking about synthetics. So I currently have my SNX on here. I staked it and I'm earning 33.27%. So over time, I'm just gonna leave my assets on here. It's gonna be working for me 24/7, 365. And just let that grow. Like I don't have a need for a lot of these assets at the moment. So if I can potentially earn a much higher return on these assets than in a traditional infrastructure or traditional finance, then I'm naturally going to do that. Like as a rational person, a rational investor, knowing all this information, it makes no sense to put my money into a bank account and earn 0.01% interest. Like that makes no sense if you're losing 4.5% in inflation, according to a calculation that isn't exactly correct, because we know that inflation is much higher than that. And it's going to get a lot worse as things open back up and you have all these people spending all the money that they saved, hopefully, or all the stimulus money that they had for the same exact products. Just today, Chipotle announced that they increased their the prices for their food 4%. Unless you got a raise for 4%, your money is not going to stretch as far. So you gotta know these things and be aware. All right, this is Tyrell. I hope this information was useful, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. I try to reply to all the comments out there. Remember, we're doing the giveaways, so go ahead and subscribe, and then I give away some money. Hopefully it's you. All right, peace.